Welcome back to our whiteboard segment. We're talking protection for Drake Maye, Ernie, because Drake Maye threw 2 touchdown passes, ran for another. He had all day to throw the football, which was great, but the offensive line is getting it done.
Well,
and why?
The pass offense starts with protection. It's always protection first because, as we saw with the Patriots, the last couple of years, if it's a problem up there, the quarterback's not going to have time. He can't set his feet, and all kinds of bad things are going to happen. There were times I thought for Drake Maye Sunday, it was like going out for 7-on-7 when there's no rush.
No rush.
He had, and
they only had 1 sack the entire 3 games before they played the Patriots,
right,
so they're not very good at it.
Right. But the fact is that's if you've got that kind of time for your quarterback, everything, your completion percentage, yards per catch, everything is going to go way up.
So what's the line doing?
So what we're going to do here is, and this is, of course, this is Tuesday, so I was sure that at some point prior this evening, the offensive coaches are going to sit down and have a protection meeting. Everything they're going to do is going to be to decide what kind of protections we're going to run. Are there any problems?
Against Buffalo.
It starts with personnel. Is there a player or players who are particular problems we can't afford to have them
Ed Oliver.
Ed Oliver, right? So what we don't ever want. They may say we don't ever want to be in a situation where he's singled up. Okay, so for instance, if we'd always have every protection call that we make, and Patriots probably have, like every team, like 15 or 20 different protections, because some of them are play action, some of them you need to get the back going one way or the other.
Okay,
it's a fairly nuanced conversation. But for instance, do we always need to make sure we've got somebody double teamed? Because if we don't double team him, he's going to ruin the game for us.
How does the double team work?
So you'd always have your center would say slide to the right, taking the inside half of the defensive tackle. Now the guard could overset him a little bit to the outside. So we've got 2 people on him. Of course, the problem comes if you got 2 of these guys inside who are both really good. Then how are you going to handle it?
What is the for a back? He obviously never wants to block a free pass at Oliver, right? That's somebody has screwed up. When a defensive tackle goes through the line and you see a back on him, what happens?
Well, so where that comes up is, and I've got drawn here the shotgun, but let's say, for instance, you have your quarterback under center. And if the defense walks a linebacker up now into the A gap, and the A gap is what we call the guard between the center and the guard.
Yep.
It's A, B, C. So if somebody says B gap, everybody in football knows you're talking about between the guard and the tackle. If the quarterback is under center, and you have to get this, and they're coming through the A gaps, you got to get him blocked or he'll get to the quarterback before the back can get there. And that's when you get into what we call gap rules. When the quarterback's under center, and depending on if the center's going this way, then the left guard has to come down and block that linebacker, and now the back, is going to end up on the tackle.
Which is a problem.
Which is why a lot of people, right, if you're throwing from shotgun and the quarterback's getting the snap back 5 yards deep, now you don't have to gap rule it because
the back can get to
your
the
back
backer.
can step up and
So
block
here's a
it.
question I have, and we're running out of time here, but are the O-line, is it protecting an area, or is it actually blocking a person?
When you're pass blocking, you have to know where the quarterback is trying to set up.
Okay.
He's got his spot. It's 7 yards deep, right behind the center. If the quarterback is over here, that's the quarterback's issue. The line is counting on the quarterback being where he's supposed to be, because pass protection is always inside out.
Inside out.
For instance,
okay.
if I'm blocking Christian and the quarterback's back here, I can never let him get the straight line to the quarterback. That's what the defense.
Inside out. Protecting the inside out.
The defensive linemen, they are tricky. They always want the straight line to the quarterback. If you make them go outside, you make them go the long way.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Excellent.
Good stuff.
Excellent. Good. But you hated it if a defensive tackle came from the inside.
Absolutely. Yeah, got to block them. All right, we'll be back with more of the show right after this. Stay with us.